Hi, Fear Buster friends. Guess what day it is? You got it. Let's say it together. Are you ready? It's Fear Buster Friday. Woohoo! Fear Buster Friday. I should have some music playing, but the music that I really like, they always want to say, hey, that's copyright, So I don't know. We should make up our own. I should make up my own Fear Buster song. That's what I should do. Usually I sing or play. Maybe we can just sing it. The Ghostbuster song, that's and I just put Fear Buster. Who are you gonna call? Fear Busters, right? But hey, if you are good with music and you want to come up with a Fear Buster song for me, and you don't mind, like recording it or something and having us play it here, that would be so awesome. I just kind of came up with that idea, but that would be like really, really cool, right? So I'm Lydia Rieger, and I'm a Fear Buster coach, and what that simply means is I help people get over their fears. I mean, fears are always with us, and it's okay, we just have to learn to live with them. We're not going to let them drive the car. So I love to get on here on Fridays and call it Fear Buster Friday, to just remind all of us, including myself, big time here, big time, reminding myself that I can move through the fear and get to the fun, the faith, and the freedom. And I want to help you do that too, of course, and that's why I'm here. So every Friday so far for a while, I've been reading a chapter, because they're very short chapters, of Price Pritchett's book, You Squared. And yeah, I think I showed you the right part, didn't I? There we go. And so we're just going to jump right in, and today's chapter is on page 21 and 22. And actually the words, a lot of times it's 2 pages or even just 1 page. So this literally is like a page of writing over here, and the title is on the other side. And the last one I read was almost as short, but it had, like a half a page, a whole page and a half. Whoops, there we go, and half a page. So, but anyway, so this week is the chapter on page 21 and 22, in case you're following along, and it's called Choose a Different Set of Risks. I just need a little water. I've been talking a lot lately, so got to keep the throat moist there. All right. Choose a different set of risks. Okay? Going for the quantum leap feels chancy. So let me just say before I dive into this material that, life is risk no matter what. And this chapter talks about that no matter what you choose, there is risk involved. Okay? So sometimes if we know, or we have an inkling in our brains or our hearts, if we know that there's something we really ought to be doing for our own well-being, or for ourselves to reach that greater goal or something like that, it can feel risky, chancy. It can be intimidating, or so you get apprehensive about it. It can feel like, ooh, I don't know, because what we know right now, it feels safe. We may not like it. It may not be what we prefer, but because we know it, it feels safe. And as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, that's a little crazy in a way, but it's true, and that's why a lot of people stay stuck. I know I have stayed stuck on a lot of different things, because to make that move, it's sometimes that inertia to get going, which is the hardest. But once you make that first step and that first move, it will get easier after that. So, keep that in mind, because, really anything in life is chancy. all right? But going for the big dream or that next step into the unknown, you know, that feels scary, chancy, risky, I know. But this chapter is going to show you how, if you don't take that step, how staying where you are and choosing that, because it's always a choice, that is actually more risky, or it can be more risky. So it's really a warning. All right, now I'll jump right in here. So this is called Choose a Different Set of Risks. The risks hit you as rather apparent and may be quite threatening, but you must stack them up against the hidden risks you accept when you decide to live with the status quo. And I'm just going to pause right there, because it is a choice if you're deciding to live with the status quo, or if you're deciding to step out of that into something else. And there are hidden risks if you stay with the status quo. Ask yourself what you're risking if you do not go for the quantum leap. The risk is that you won't get what you really want out of life. And I think I'm just going to stop there too, because when you know what it is that you really want out of life, you know, there's going to be some risk involved. And if you don't go for that quantum leap, it's suddenly getting dark in here. The dramatic music is going to start. Boom, boom, boom. Just kidding. But when you don't go for that quantum leap, you don't take that step, you're just going to stay where you are, you know. And you got to ask yourself, if you do that, what are you risking? What are you risking if you stay right here? And simply put, like the book says, you're not going to get what you really want. Do you want what you really want? Okay. Next paragraph. You've got to understand that you can never escape risk. It's not something you can decide to live with or without. Something is always at stake. You can only decide which risks to take. And I'm going to stop there again. I think I'm going to stop at every paragraph today. It's so true. You know, I'm thinking, no matter what you do, there is a risk. So you got to choose which risk is better than the other. You know? And if you want to go for that goal, for that dream, the only way you're going to do it is to take a different set of risks. All right, next paragraph. Whether you choose to go for the quantum leap or to follow your usual routines, you are putting something on the line. So choose carefully and don't kid yourself with the idea that playing it safe by living with the status quo gives you the best odds. That may be the surest way of losing. Okay, so if you've been watching me and listening and even reading the book, U Squared, you will know by now that playing it safe, doing the same old, isn't going to give you results. Plain and simple. You can work harder at keeping on doing the same things, and you might see a little bit of a needle moving a little bit, but it's really not going to move that far that fast. And I know this with my own experience, where I've tried again and again to do a lot of the same things for my business, for my health, and it didn't move anywhere. So once I try different things, now I have a different result, or I get feedback like, okay, that wasn't really that great, but now let me try something else new. Okay, next paragraph. Quantum leaps do not mean that to some degree you must move beyond the zone. They do mean, I think I said do not. Quantum leaps do mean that to some degree you must move beyond the zone of familiarity, security, and comfort. But you can make the jump to U squared without being reckless or impulsive. And that's good news, because I think a lot of times people, and people I talk to, they think, well, I don't want to be reckless. I might really risk something and lose something if I do that. So you can make moves that are unfamiliar, that put you in the not so comfort zone. Okay? And yes, a quantum leap does require that you do that, but that does not mean that you are being reckless or impulsive. You can do this without doing something so way out there that is going to cause you harm or somebody else harm, right? But you can still do something that might be like, whoa, I never thought of that, or wow, that's almost sounding counterintuitive, but it just might work. So you can do stuff like that, and that's when the magic happens. All right, next paragraph says, frankly, making a quantum leap is not mere gambling. It's not a crapshoot. You simply move on an opportunity you've been ignoring. You abandon your excuses. You reframe the problem. You take a completely different chance. A quantum leap is risking in a way that unmasks the truth, revealing how the only thing of significance that has been standing in the way is you. And me too. All right, so stopping there, we have to know that it has nothing to do with gambling. It might feel like it because it's so different, like, wow, I'm doing something totally different I've never done before, but it's merely taking opportunities. And when they're there, I know you know. There are opportunities that come, and what do we do sometimes? We ignore them, or we might be like, oh, yeah, I don't think I can do that because maybe it costs more money than our comfort zone would like, or we think that might take too much time. I don't have time for that. I'll wait until later. It could be any number of things, but so just think about that. Think about what is, maybe an opportunity that I've been ignoring that's right here in front of me. All right? And then it kind of uncovers this truth for you, and you can take a chance on it. All right, next one. Risk is believing in yourself. Risk acting on the assumption that you can succeed in making a quantum leap. Otherwise, the risk is that you will settle for only a fraction of what life has to give you. So pausing right there, definitely believing in yourself. And I know sometimes it's hard because, I look at my life, and when I see there are things I want to do, then that voice says, but you haven't done it yet. How do you know that's really going to happen? You haven't done that before. You haven't, doubled your income, let alone 10x'd your income. Things like that will come to my mind. And so the belief, now I could go on a whole hour about belief, but if you're having a hard time believing it, remember that there are so many other people out there just like you, ordinary people, not that you're ordinary, but there are ordinary people out there who have made quantum leaps. And it's because they found a belief in themselves. But how did they do that? Probably they had other people in their lives who believed in them to help them build that power of belief. So do anything you can to help build that power of belief in you. And I love to borrow things, okay? And I'm giving you permission to borrow my belief in you. So if you're having a hard time believing in yourself, then you just tell yourself, hey, self, Lydia, the fear buster, believes in me. Okay? If you don't, if you make a habit out of not believing in yourself, then, you're just going to end up having only that small fraction of what life has to give you. And you deserve so much more. And you can have so much more. All right, the next one is just one sentence long, this paragraph. This isn't a case of taking a big chance. It's a matter of giving yourself a big chance. So, hey, isn't that a great twist of perspective? You're not really taking a chance. You are giving yourself a chance. I like that. What about you? Love and like this, by the way, if you're watching. Love and like this. Share it with your friends and family. Because I think everybody deserves a chance. And when you're making a quantum leap, it's not about it's really, when you think about it, it's really not about taking a big, risky chance. It's about giving yourself a really great chance. All right, 2 more paragraphs. The major obstacle to overcoming the odds is never challenging them. Until you test the limits regarding what you can achieve, you can't truly know what your chances really are. And the odds change in your favor when you begin to challenge them. So, you got to challenge them. That's the key in this paragraph. The major obstacle to overcoming the odds is never challenging them. So if you challenge them, they're going to start to come in your favor. Now, I could go on and on about why that happens, but I'll tell you this one thing. And there could be many things about why this happens, but I think it all starts because you have that thought in your head and you have a vision of what you want and you can picture that. And when you start getting in harmony with it and you're picturing it and you're focused on that and only that, that's when the forces of the universe start making a path for you to reach what you want. So like your odds change to your favor because you're focused on what it is that you want, and you don't focus on, oh, what if I can't have, oh, maybe, oh, why is that might be risky, oh, I better not do that. But no, if you keep focused and you keep taking a step towards what you want, then the odds will change in your favor. It's so cool, but it really does work that way. I've seen that in my life where, I just keep taking steps and I break out of the mold, and if a voice or some other thing, it looks like it's in my way, I say, no, you're not. I challenge you, or whatever, like I might come up with different things and different ways to challenge that limiting belief. And when I do, The wall breaks down. It's so cool to see that happen. Last paragraph. But if you try to minimize your vulnerability by avoiding a new set of risks, you kill your chances for a quantum leap. And that just sums it up right there. So don't avoid risk. It's not about becoming reckless. You know, it's about choosing what you want and the risks that are involved with what you want, because it's really not about risk anyway, is it? It's about giving yourself a chance. All right, now I haven't picked a Fear Buster move for you, so let me see what I think it should be. Well, I think your Fear Buster move should be to look at your life right now and to see what kinds of risks you're taking now, and then look at what you would love, like what is your number one priority. So you want to just sit with this for a moment, meditate on it, ask yourself, what is my number one priority? Could be something to do with your health. It could be strengthening a relationship. It could be taking a step in your vocation in some way, or doing something creative that you've never done before, or something that maybe you have done and you would like to do again. What else could it be? It could be taking a step and creating more time for yourself for something. Whatever it is, think about, ask yourself, what's my number one priority right now? And then take a look, like ask yourself, does this feel chancy to take a leap into that? Ask yourself, what if I could have a quantum leap in this area? And you can kind of judge how chancy that feels, you know, but then ask yourself, what's the risk if I don't do this? What is the risk, you know, like what's the cost, for example, of not doing it? Okay, and get really honest with yourself, and then take an action step. I mean, this is totally up to you. I mean, I'm always encouraging people to take steps towards what they really would love to do. But then, you know, the choice is yours. Are you going to move forward in that goal or dream, or are you going to choose to stay, you know, and be in the same space that you're in now with the same risks that you have? But remember, it might be an even greater risk to stay. So my Fear Buster move for you is to look at your number one priority and ask yourself about, you know, compare your risks of staying here or to reaching that goal or dream. Okay, weigh the risks, get really honest with yourself, and then decide, is it worth it? You know, is it worth taking that new risk? You know, because chances are it may not really be worth staying where you are, where it seems safe. Okay, it might seem safe, but in the long run, and even in the short run, it might be feeling really, or it might be very risky, in the sense that you will never, I don't want to say never, but that you won't reach what you would absolutely love. So get in touch with what you would really love, and feel my love. Big hugs to you. And remember, to make every day a Fear Buster Day. That was a little wimpy. Let's do that again. Remember to make every day a Fear Buster Day. That was a little better. I really would love some bum 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 music or something when I do these. It would be awesome. All right. Hey, if you want to be creative and come up with some really awesomeness, some awesome beats and songs or whatever, let me know. Let me know. All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.